Hello there, I'm Erisi Butler from Butler Stores, and I hope everyone is doing good. We are keeping safe, staying protected, and spreading calm but not fear, which is very much important during this period. Before this pandemic and this whole corona situation, I knew most of us were having a lot of traveling plans, especially a lot of you were having plans of coming to Ghana, and some of you were able to execute your traveling plans because you had January, February, and maybe early March to travel. Someone like me, I had the opportunity to travel Togo Benin Nigeria during the first weeks of February before the pandemic became really serious in Africa, when borders were being shut down and everything. And today I want to share my experience. I want to share some of the experiences I had traveling through these three countries, which were my first time traveling solo. The first country I traveled to was Togo, because Togo was closer to Ghana than any of the other two countries. Togo is just 3-4 hours drive from Accra. So when I got to Togo, it was almost 5 p.m. and I took a little pictures and continued to the immigration checkpoint, filled all my forms, had my passport stamped, and whoo, I was in Togo. Got to Togo, I experienced something at the border. Around 5:30, I was waiting for a driver to pick me up. So as I was sitting just at the border, I saw everyone still. Everyone was standing still. As I was looking around, everyone stood still. So I also decided to just go with the vibe. And I was sitting, so and even the immigration personnel were sitting, they got up. So as they got up, I also decided to get up. I was just going with the vibe. I also decided to get up, and I saw two immigration personnel marching. So he marched straight to where they had their flag raised, and they pulled the flag down, folded it, and gave it to the other person, and they started singing their national pledge or anthem, and marched back into the room and placed the flag, came out before everyone started moving again. So not my first time seeing something like that. I just asked one of the immigration guys I was sitting there with, like, what just happened. He was really good in English, so we were able to communicate. Then he told me every day they do this thing 2 times. They do it in the morning and the evening before they pull on their flag. In the morning, 6 a.m. they have this, in the evening when they're bringing it down, they have the same thing. And I said, okay, that's nice. So later when I came back and I was telling my family people, they said, don't I know about this? It's a normal thing they do at every border. It's okay. I haven't traveled anywhere late like that to experience it, so it was quite something new to me. I don't know if you've ever seen it before, but it's nice. So as I waited for my driver came and we went home. The next day, I experienced a lot. So something I wanted to do in Togo was to have their beach experience, because back in secondary school, I was a French student. So back in secondary school, we went to Togo to have a seminar for 2 days, and we didn't have much time to have fun. So the second day, I had to go visit the Independence Monument, which was my first time riding on a motorcycle for very long. If you want to come to Togo and you want to move around Togo, you should psych your mind to riding motorcycle, because it's the safest, easiest, and fastest way or mode of transportation to move around the city. So I just had my mind. I got up, I paid the cab, but it was delaying, and the driver told me if I really want to move around the city and enjoy it, I'm supposed to take motorcycle. He stopped one for me, and I decided to hop on. I was scared though, but as I sat on it, I told the guy to actually move within my pace. I told him I was not familiar with motor, so he should just move within my pace. So he did that just for me, and I had fun. I took videos on it as well. Okay guys, I'm in the motor with my little rider. Please help me out. Shout out the motor in Nigeria. the independent monument, one funny thing I realized is Togo have the sorry side, but they don't have it like um, Ghana. Before you go to our Independence Square, you're supposed to pass through security checkpoints, which you pay to get there. At least get a guide to go with you, teach you what this is, what the. It wasn't like that in Togo. We just went, we just drive, and the motor rider told me, this is it. I said, okay, I can see this is it, but don't we have anywhere I could just go and pay to get more knowledge about it, or get a guide to take me along? What? And he said, no, I could just take pictures. And okay, so I took a couple of pictures and I decided. So I was actually safe with the guy because I could interact with him. And we drove. He took me on a long ride through the town. We went to the airport. We went for food hunting, and I wanted to try Togo fufu, something local in Togo. And they told me their local food was in Ghana. We'll call it fufu. They also call it fufu, but there's a different way of them doing. Let's see how they prepare their fufu. So as I was trying this food, I was not confident in myself, but I still tried it, and it was okay. It was fun. I told myself, as soon as I get back to Ghana, or as soon as I get back to where I was staying in Togo, I'm supposed to detox, because what I took in was the first time taking in something like that. But it was fun because I always tell people who visit Ghana to try something new. At least try their local food, try something new. So I was also implementing what I've been telling others into this travel. These are some of the stuffs I did in Togo. I want to share it with you. That's what this video is. Hello guys, this is Togo. I promise you guys nothing but the best, and this is the Togo Monument for Independence, just like Ghana Independence Square. This is also their square, but for Ghana Independence Square you can take pictures there, but unfortunately for me, I realized here you can't take pictures closer, so I can just take pictures from afar and also do this video from afar. So watch out for the Togo edition. West Africa will be doing Benin Nigeria tomorrow, so just watch out. But let's toast to the world, Africa to the world. I don't know what I'm trying, but I just hope my stomach does not upset. Yes, so that was all for Togo. I didn't do much in Togo because I had time, a scheduled time, which I was supposed to come back. I gave myself a week. I had so much fun in Togo. Although the language, I had a little barrier because of the language, but I overcome it. There's one thing I realized about Togo is a neat country, and they also accept people freely and warmly, and it's safe. Yeah, these are some of the three things. And the motto, I shouldn't forget about that. It was a lifetime experience with the motto. So on the third day I traveled, I continued my journey to Benin. What comes into your mind when you hear Benin? For me, the first thing that comes into my mind in Benin is rituals. Yes, that's all what we know about Benin back in Ghana. Other people from Ghana go to Benin to buy stuff and come and sell it in Ghana, but mostly what people go do in Benin is rituals. As we got to Benin, I wasn't comfortable with Benin. But it was fun. The first thing I read and the first thing I had in mind to do in Benin was to visit their Python temple. It's one experience I've been willing to do for a whole long time. So as soon as I got to Benin, funny enough, Benin too was a motor city. Benin is even much motor than that of Togo, because the number of cars you see in Benin are less than the number of motorcycles you see in Benin. So I hopped onto one motor and it took me to the Python temple. When I got there, I passed through all the necessary steps, but the only thing I couldn't do was to hold the python or have it around my neck, like how I've been seeing people doing. Sorry if I didn't gather the confidence enough to do that. Guys, I really want to conquer my fear, but please, I can't hold it. So, in fact, I'm shaking right now like this. The man has the python. So the people of Benin believe that when you stand in front of this tree and say whatever you wish for, it's definitely going to come true, if only you believe it. So I tried it. My wish haven't come true yet, but I still believe it. So I'll touch him and say,
yes, tell your problem, and it's you and him. Okay,
now guys, this is the biggest tree, and this is the voodoo tree in Benin. And there is a saying that if you touch it and you tell your problem to it, it will be solved. So I'm trying my luck, I'm trying my best with this.
Touch, no problem. Don't worry. Okay, touch it well. And off the eyes and tell the problems that you have.
But I had fun in Benin as well. After the temple, I rode back to their Door of No Return. Although there was nothing much to see there, but it was a nice experience hearing and have knowledge about how slaves were being transferred from Benin across the ocean. This is the Door of No Return for the slaves that passed through Benin. I wouldn't say they were fortunate, because there's nothing like fortunate when it comes to slavery. But I think the Door of No Return is quite bigger as to compare to Ghana. They pass all the way here straight into the sea. Yeah. They didn't have castles as Ghana, but the little huts building over there, that was where they were kept before.
Come, here is my place, here is my market, what I do. Welcome in the
So
gate
he
of
sells just
I sell jewels
in front of the Door of No Return in Benin. So anytime you pass through, you can just help a brother. So that was it for Benin. I was supposed to sleep in Benin, but I wasn't feeling so much confident. I wasn't feeling safe in Benin, so I decided to move on. I had to sleep in Benin for the next day and move on to Nigeria, but sorry, I wasn't feeling okay in Benin. Yeah, I wasn't feeling okay, so I just decided, why don't I just move on to Nigeria? At least even if I get to Nigeria and sleep at the borders, I'll be okay with that. So I just hopped onto a car and moved straightly to Nigeria. Whew. Nigeria and Ghana are sisters. That's what we know in Ghana. We call them our sister country. Funny enough, Togo is closer to Ghana, but we don't call Togo our sister country, but we rather call Nigeria our sister country because Ghana and Nigeria have a lot in common. Our our music, I think our music connects us more. Yeah, and Ghanaians click more with Nigerians than the other countries. So they are sister countries. When I got to our sister country, Nigeria, I was so happy. I was so happy. Nigeria has been a country that I always wanted to go. But I was always finding it difficult as well to go to Nigeria because there are lots of stories about Nigeria. There are lots of stories traveling to Nigeria alone and a lady. It wasn't promising because I told my mom, I told my family I was going to Nigeria, and no one gave me a positive answer. I even posted on my Facebook feed I was going to Nigeria, and no one gave me a positive answer to actually add Nigeria to my trip since I was traveling alone. But I got to Nigeria, I got to the border, and I was so happy. But I became sad all of a sudden when I was going through stress with the immigration. I didn't have stress in Togo border, I didn't have stress in Benin border, but I was stressed with the Nigerian border. What I read and what I knew and what I was told of, that I was going to pay just 2,000 naira at the Nigerian border, but I ended up paying 5,000. I ended up paying 5,000 naira at the Nigerian border. The first checkpoint asked me if I had my yellow card, and I said yes, and I provided it. And I was asked to pay 2,000 naira there, and I said okay, I know about that, so it was fair. As soon as I paid the 2,000 naira, my passport was still not stamped, and I was asked to go to the other checkpoint. When I got there, the guy just looked at my passport, looked at me, and told me it's my first time coming to Nigeria, and I said yes with a broad smile. And he said, okay, because it's my first time coming to Nigeria, what am I coming to do here? The necessary questions he asked, and I told him I was a tourist, just visiting the country. And he said, just visiting the country? I said, yes. I'll be back in no days, like 2-3 days, I'll be back. He just lay on my face and told me I have to pay 3,000 naira. And I said, I have to pay 3,000 naira, another 3,000 naira. Okay, I skipped that and gave him the money, 3,000. Then he told me to move to the third counter. So when I moved to the third counter, he told me to pay 1,500 naira. Then I became lost. I said, why do I have to pay? That was when I questioned again. I said, why do I have to pay 1,500 naira again? Because I've paid 2,000 initially, and I've paid 3,000 without questioning, and I have to pay another 1,500 naira. Then I have to question. And he said I have to sign because it's my first time coming to Nigeria, a whole lot. And I said, is that the normal process for people, everyone coming here? And he said yes. Then I said I can't pay that money. I told him I don't have that money to pay. And he just looked at my face, why not? And I was looking at time as well, because 6 o'clock the borders are going to be closed. But initially, because I was supposed to stay in Benin, and I didn't get the vibe, and I was just continuing the journey to Nigeria, I was far behind time. I got to Nigeria past 5, so I just had 30 minutes to do my stuffs at the border and just cross over. Then they're wasting all the time there. So before I was going to pay another 1,500, I told myself, no, let me act up. So I gave a sad face and a face like I was going to cry. I said it was my first time here and I didn't know about that, blah blah blah. So the guy was just looking at my face and he said, okay, go. So when I was going there, I just smiled. And, wow, so it actually worked. But I could use it even in the previous one. That was just for him. So I got back. Funny, I took motor from the Benin border to the Nigerian border. It was not really far. So The motor rider actually killed my spirit because he told me he was going to charge me 3,000, and because we're in Benin, we're using safer. So I said okay. We got there and he said it was 3,000 naira, and the difference between the naira and safer, changing it at that point, the naira is higher than the safer. So I was confused. You didn't charge me in naira, so why are you saying naira here? And I had no option, and I didn't have much naira on me. I was just having safer from my previous trip, so that's what I calculated for. So I had to go back, change more naira, and give him 3,000 naira before I could cross. When I got to where I was supposed to cross initially, they told me I can't cross because it's past 5:45. So I'm supposed to go and take the other path to pass through the other gate. Then I was frustrated. I said, I even explained to the immigration guy, it's my first time coming here, so can't I be favored a little bit? I showed him my passport, like it's my first time coming to Nigeria. This is my first stamp coming to Nigeria, so can't I be favored since I don't know? I changed it into the other level, like, madam, if you don't want to stay here, then you have to just walk back there and come to the other gate, unless by 6 o'clock they'll close the other gate as well. Then I just looked at the time. It was 5 minutes to 6 o'clock, and I said, I was just standing there. I didn't know what to do. I said, if I walk all the way back there, I'm not sure I can make it. So there was one guy just beside me. I was like, okay, there's this immigration, there's a fence between where I was and the other part, but the fence, people could still pass through that fence because they've destroyed that place a little bit. So he told me, because they've destroyed that place, there's an immigration guy making sure no one crosses that. But when you give him something, when you tip him something, you can just pass through that and get to the gate than passing all the way back. So I had to go and talk to that guy because there was no way I was making it if I had to go all the way. So I went to the immigration, and when I went, I decided to use what I used back there. Then this time it was real because I was feeling down. My spirit was really feeling down, and I was feeling sad as well because I felt I had no one here, and if I'm not able to cross within the next 5 minutes, meaning I'm sleeping at Nigerian border, or I'm moving all the way back into Benin, or what am I going to do? When I got to the guy, this time I was not acting. Tears started dropping. The guy told me, madam, wetin happen? Meaning, madam, what's wrong? And I told him, I also tried speaking the broken English. I told him, this be my first time where they come Nigeria, where I come your border. I said a lot. I just told him it was my first time. I explained everything to him all over. And he said the only thing he can do for the first time, he said the only thing he can do is me going all the way there and run. Because I saw people actually running. And I told him I'm having stuff, I can't do that. Then he looked at me, I was crying. He said, enter. Whew. As I entered, he passed my stuff to me. I said, thank you, Oga. Thank you, boss. I just, pound. I walked as fast as I could, and I got to the gate. He just looked at my passport, looked at my face, and allowed me to enter. That was when I was feeling okay a little bit. I didn't have it easy at the border, but I was able to overcome it. So when I crossed the border, I had to walk a few meters to get a taxi because the guy I was meeting in Nigeria, the person I knew in Nigeria was going to accommodate me, told me that when I get to the border and I should just pick a taxi to another place. That's if he's not around, sorry. When I got there, I couldn't find him anywhere. So I had to go through my messages, look at the location when he told me, and although it was not safe, but Nigeria, because I have a lot of friends in Ghana, I could beat around their language. That's their pidgin. When I sat in the taxi, I told the guy to give me his phone to make a call, and he gave me. So I called the guy and he said they've already moved from the border and they've gone to where I'm supposed to meet them, so I should just pick a taxi and come. I sat in the taxi for like an hour, almost 2, And we're talking about me leaving the border at 6 p.m. So an hour that was going to be 7 p.m. almost to 8 p.m. still at the border. And another guy came, sat in the taxi. I looked at him, looked at how he was before I was feeling comfortable. He didn't look strange because in Nigeria, I know Nigeria, they are sister country. I'm not saying anything bad about Nigeria, but it's not safe. It's not safe to travel alone there, especially when you don't know your way out. So when a guy came, I just looked at him and it was okay. He even had a conversation with me. Funny enough, he helped me to where I was going. So when we got there safely, I met my people and we went back. We couldn't even go where I met them. It was already late. It was 2 hours, it was 3 hours drive from the border to where I was supposed to get me there. When I got there, it was 10, almost 11 already. I was 11 already. So we had to find a place, we had to find a hotel to sleep before we go. So we found a place, we found a hotel and spent the night there and continued our journey to Lagos, which I've been dreaming of going to Lagos for a long time. So when we got to Lagos, we were also going to one of my favorite parts in Lagos, as Lekki. That's where we were going to stay. And on my way, you can imagine taking videos, pictures were a lot. On the first day, I had to visit the Lekki Conservation Center, just like the Kaku National Park in Ghana. But with theirs, they had metals, but ours in Ghana, ours are built with wood. Yeah, and ours is deep, but theirs is the longest canopy walk in West Africa, in Africa in the whole. So we went on this long canopy walk. On the canopy walk, I met a couple of people. I made friends there. We came back, we went to the market. I had a lot of fun in Nigeria. I was supposed to spend 3 days in Nigeria, but I ended up spending 2 weeks, 2 days in Nigeria. Yes, you can imagine. The experience was much. The experience was a lot. The reason why I spent a lot of days in Nigeria is 1, it was fun. 2, the distance from one location to another, it's very far. Most of their locations are one state to the another. Every state has something to say. Every state, and I wanted to have it all, but funny enough, I couldn't even do half of it. I just visited the conservation center. I traveled all the way from Lagos State to the Benin State. That's like 7 hours from Lagos to Benin State. So when we got to Benin State, it was already late. And before going to Benin State, I read a little about it. Benin is a historic city of Nigeria. That was where the country Benin, when you really read into it, that was where the country Benin was actually originated from before they had their own part as Benin as a country. So it still gives you the Benin ritual or voodoo vibe. So, but then in the Nigerian Benin, because I was there with someone I knew and feeling confident with, I was fine. I was okay. So when we got to Benin, it was late. We slept. The next day, I decided to visit the Ober's Palace, the second recognized kingdom in Africa. Yes, I learned Queen Elizabeth even recognizes that kingdom. That's the Benin Kingdom. Yeah, so I visited the palace and it was one of my nicest experience. It's just like you visiting the Ashanti Kingdom back in Ghana. And even from the history in Benin, it's connected to the history in the Ashanti Kingdom. I learned even when the Ashanti Kingdom is having a Deba, they invite the people of Benin to like a very big Deba or ceremony or anything big which has to do with royalty. They invite the people of Benin, and that was a shocking news to know. One story I heard that I read about it and didn't get a vivid answer to it, or a really concrete answer to it, was the stew, the Ashanti stew, that's a golden stew which Okonfanoti brought or chanted from the skies. I learned it was from Benin, but I don't have a confident or a concrete answer to that, so that was just to pass by. So you could actually know that the kingdom is a big one and a recognized one. In the kingdom, these are a few things I learned about the Benin kingdom. 1. Before a king can be installed as a king, the mother of the king is supposed to die. That was before, but now they've replaced it with something else. Secondly, the son of the king cannot step his foot into the kingdom or the palace unless his father is dead, because it is believed that if the son of the king steps his foot into the palace, they have 2 kings in the kingdom, so they wouldn't know who to call the king or who to pay respect to, so they just avoid it. And even the wife of the king does not stay in the palace or in the kingdom, stays far away from the palace. And there is no female servant in the palace or the kingdom. And there is a portion of the palace that a female cannot pass. When you trespass it, you're going to bleed for less than 21 days and you will die. There are a lot of stuff I learned about the Benin Kingdom which was quite fascinating. And after I left the palace and I was just moving around the city, just doing a city walk tour, I took my camera at one point to take a picture. And as soon as I took my camera, I was called by a policeman, which they had their little patrol there, called by them. He seized my camera and told me that I have no right to take a picture along that side, that area. It was one shocking news to me. I had to beg this policeman severally because the people of Benin are actually known to be strict with their tradition. So you're not allowed to take a picture even some meters away from the kingdom, because when I asked the policeman why, he explained to me that they have issues with the Boko Haram people, so it'd be like someone set to a spy. So I had to bring out my passport, bring out the reason why I'm there, told them a whole lot before they allowed me to go. And I actually thank God when I moved out of Benin safely, because the people of Nigeria, even when you tell them you're going to Benin City, they tell you to be careful. So my experience in Nigeria was a lot. I had fun, the history part. Everything I was supposed to actually enjoy on this trip, I had it in Nigeria. Although the other 2 countries were great. But as I said, I was supposed to spend just 3 days in Nigeria, but I ended up spending 2 weeks, 2 days in Nigeria. So after everything, I relaxed for 2 days and packed myself and came back to my country. These are some of the experiences I had in Nigeria.
Oh, really? Oh.
It can't.
Really?
Can it do?
See on video. Okay. I can't even imagine I'm even standing in front of this girl. Hey! We are on on the front, the canopy wall. Smile to my cap. Please, Joe. Smile what? This is Nigeria, we don't smile. Oh, this is fun. Really, but my mom doesn't know I'm here. Please, hear me, don't phone.
And what if she knows?
Yeah, she's not shouting. My daughter!
So you know the other one like okay now that's it. See my leg. So it's like you are let's say
Freestyling.
yeah like this hand goes like this with this leg. So yeah, so it's like a proper.
There are 5 things I would like to share with you upon my experiences. The first thing I would like to share with you is before you travel solo into any other country for the first time, you should at least have a tour guide or have someone you trust in the country to help you move around. 2, you should be familiar with the language. I think that's second most important thing. You should be familiar with the language, because communication can be really disturbing if you're not familiar with the language. They can't understand you, also can't understand you. I don't know how you're going to enjoy it if people around there don't understand you or you also don't understand them. 3, if it's your first time traveling to any country, you should read more. That is, if you're not taking a tour guide, you should read more and plan well before you go. 4thly, you should pack less. The 4th one is pack less, because you don't know what you're going to encounter. Definitely if you're coming back, you're going to come with a whole lot of stuff, but if you're going, pack less. 5, try to adapt to the environment. On the number 5, I'll say try to adapt to the environment, because one thing I learned about this whole experience is the moment you let them know you're not familiar with where you're going, it's either you get cheated or anything. The most important thing is cheat, because the people get to know you're not familiar with it and you have no one backing you, so they're going to cheat you. These are the 5 things I wanted to share with you in my experience on Togo Benin Nigeria. And I hope you still keep safe, keep protected, and we meet again. It's still But Let's Talk on all social media networks. Like, share, and subscribe. Thanks for watching.